Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Let's talk about the lightweight situation, the funny situation regarding the WBC title. First, Haney vacates the title after being gifted the belt. Makes one defense, vacates the title, claims a shoulder injury. Then Fortuna, who's number one in the rankings, gets ordered to fight Luke Campbell for the vacant title. The pandemic hits. The fight gets canceled. Haney demands his title to be emailed back to him. His request gets granted by WBC, of course. He's the champion again for WBC. And then Luke Campbell and Fortuna agreed to fight for an interim title with the winner to fight Devin Haney, since WBC ruled that Haney could cherry pick a voluntary challenger coming off shoulder surgery in his first fight back in a while. Now, it was reported by Boxing Scene that Eddie Hearn is looking to make a Devin Haney-Luke Campbell fight instead, and it's being eyed for August and September. How true it is, not really sure. I mean, obviously, it would benefit Eddie Hearn to instead make this fight, but it all depends on Devin Haney. Does he want to take this type of fight coming off the injury, the layoff, fighting a legitimate contender in Luke Campbell, or would he rather fight a bum fight? Another easy showcase fight, which he's been doing. Instead, take an easier fight behind closed doors and then fight the winner of Campbell Fortuna at a later date. Obviously, Luke Campbell is down for the fight. Would rather get an immediate title shot. Of course, Fortuna is the number one contender and would be considered in line to fight for that title, but Devin Haney has not been forced by WBC to make a mandatory defense, so he doesn't have to fight Fortuna. He can fight whoever he wants as long as they're in the top 15 of the WBC rankings. It makes sense. Just make the fight with Luke Campbell, Devin Haney, have them fight. Fortuna could fight someone else for an interim title, and if he wins, he'll get dibs at Devin Haney at a later date. The mandatory will have to be fulfilled eventually. The WBC would have to order it, since it's been a long time since that title has been defended. A really long time. Haney's been granted a voluntary defense, and if Campbell's the opponent, it's a worthy opponent. It's a decent title defense. If Haney makes a statement, does a better job against Luke Campbell than Lomachenko did, he would actually have earned his stripes as a real champion by beating a legit contender in the lightweight division and not being gifted a title fighting prospects for titles. It will be the best opponent for Haney to date. It will be a worthy title defense. I mean, we would much rather see Haney fight a Luke Campbell instead of fighting a no-hoper or a no-name guy for another title defense, wouldn't we? Fortuna could fight someone else below in the rankings for the interim title, and then they could fight sometime next year. I mean, and that will be a step in the right direction with Haney's career in terms of worthy opponents. No more Santiagos, no more Abdulayevs, washed Mexican fighters coming off 2 years layoffs like Juan Carlos Burgos. It will be actual, legitimate, top 5, top 10 contenders. Luke Campbell, Javier Fortuna. Haney does a job, does a number of those guys, he will have earned his stripes as a legitimate WBC champion. So, it's really up to Haney for this fight to happen. If he's down, the fight will happen with Luke Campbell. But it remains to be seen. Let's see what type of dog Devin Haney is. Is he going to take this type of assignment coming off the layoff? Or is he going to swerve for a much lesser fight? And that will tell you all you need to know about Devin Haney. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.